Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. I am beyond excited today because I have the opportunity to read some of Daniel Scranton's amazing channelings. Daniel Scranton is the channeler for a number of different entities. In particular, you may have heard some of his stuff with the Arcturian Council. There is a number of amazing books that I recommend by Daniel Scranton. I'm going to be talking to him soon. Hopefully we'll get him on and interview him as well. But he gave me permission to read some of his channelings. He has a number of books: The Ascension, The Shift to the Fifth Dimension, volumes 1, 2, and 3, and 4. He's got Channeled Wisdom with higher dimensional beings. He's channeled Ophelia the Fairy, the Hathors, the Unicorn Collective, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, the Founders, the Pleiadian High Council of Seven, Kuan Yin. All of these are amazing channelings, and I've always wanted to read them to you. Today we're reading from the first volume of The Ascension, The Shift to the Fifth Dimension. What I love is that these channelings are intriguing and easy to understand, both in written and audio form. He really has a powerful ability of being able to translate the potent message that he gets from whatever source to words that are easier to understand. If you're asking who the Arcturian Council is, Daniel explains. Some of you might be wondering who the Arcturian Council are, where they come from, and why we would want to listen to them. I'm sure you'll understand more as you read through this book, but to make it easier on those of you who are brand new to my work and the Arcturians, here's a brief tutorial. The Arcturian Council are a ninth dimensional collective of beings who have evolved and ascended within the Arcturian Star System. By comparison, we are in the fourth dimension and we are ascending to the fifth. The Arcturians no longer incarnate in physical bodies. They are consciousness, energy, light, and love, and their desire is to be of service to humanity. If you feel a particular fondness for the red giant known as Arcturus, the Arcturians, and or the Arcturian Star System, it's likely because you've incarnated there before. By all accounts, the Arcturian Star System is like a spiritual retreat center, and beings who incarnate there do so to explore their spirituality, expand, grow, and basically take the physical and non-physical experiences of being aspects of Source as far as they possibly can. In answer to the question of what is channeling, Daniel explains it's a connection to beings that exist in other bodies, other dimensions, and sometimes even different time periods. The connection is both telepathic and energetic. He says he can feel the energetic connection while accessing the meaning that the beings he's connected to are conveying. The feeling is the most important part. I wanted to read from the first chapter, The Shift to the Fifth Dimension. Physical upgrades. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You have taken the steps forward on your journeys that are necessary to bring in that help that you've been getting. You see, help isn't just distributed when you are in need of it. That's what happens when the help you need is coming from non-physical. But when you demonstrate a readiness for help on a physical level, that's when your physical extraterrestrial brothers and sisters are able to step in. The higher you raise your vibration, the closer you are in proximity to them, and so it doesn't become as much about help as it does collaboration. Now, what are you collaborating on are some upgrades that will tide you over physically until you are fully occupying your light bodies. When you let the help in and you receive the upgrades to your physical bodies so that you can carry more light in them, you're not only granting permission to continue on this journey with your extraterrestrial friends, but you are also exercising your free will to make the experience of your ascension easier. We know that it has been hard on you emotionally. And second to the emotional hardship has been the physical symptoms. You've all endured so many ascension symptoms, And some of you for decades have been struggling to feel right in your physical bodies. Now, with this final upgrade, you will be able to handle the light and the codes that you will be downloading. You'll be able to make a transition into a light body seamlessly. You will see a gradual letting go of the ascension symptoms, even the ones you've been carrying around for decades. This is a big step forward for humanity. And the timing is right, as you are now in the final stages of this seemingly endless ascension journey. It will all be worth it, however, in the long run, and you will recognize how every experience, no matter how painful, was a part of this journey, and a necessary one. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Awakening evolved aspects of you. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You are awakening parts of yourselves now that are happy to be included in your ascension journey. You have many different aspects of yourselves that will be awakening in the coming years. You'll be familiarizing yourselves with a whole host of past life selves. These are versions of you from the past that grew in leaps and bounds in one lifetime, but still did not achieve what you are on the precipice of right here and now. These are aspects of you that have done that work, and yet at the end of their lives they passed on just like every other past life version of you. And to them, it wasn't fair. They are hoping to achieve something more, but because of the timing of their lives, there was only so far they could go. Now, as you awaken these aspects of yourselves, you are going to feel a lot more excitement. You're going to remember things about those lifetimes, and you're going to integrate the knowledge and abilities from those past life selves to help you along. It is not a matter of if you're going to ascend. It is only a matter of when, and you can use all the help you can get to make the transition smoother and to get to the fifth dimension more quickly. The recognition that you have been awakened in previous lifetimes and have taken your consciousness as far as it could go in those lifetimes will help you. You're not reinventing the wheel here, and you don't have to start from scratch. We recommend that you call upon these other aspects of you to share what they can and welcome them into your hearts. As you get to know more of who you have been, you will get a better sense of who you are becoming. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The next 5 to 10 years. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. It is the perfect time for all of you to consider how you would like to be moving forward in the next phase of your evolution. You are getting to decide how you move forward, in spite of what you might be told from others who make it seem as though the next 5 to 10 years are set in stone for all of you. Nothing could be further from the truth. You are the pioneers here. You are the creators and co-creators, and it is your time to be the deciders, the ones who actualize your own evolution. You can, of course, just wait and see what happens. You can look for new predictions to tell you what's going to happen next, or you can take the wheel and decide for yourselves what it's going to take for you as individuals to evolve. Do you need drama and trauma in your life to be inspired to feel your emotions? Do you need hardship in order to create? Do you need to see evidence of the rest of humanity lagging behind in order to do something about the evolution of your consciousness? When we talk about the evolution of your consciousness, we want you to know that it is something that happens automatically, but it is also something that you can facilitate. You can put your foot on the gas pedal and bring yourselves to a heightened state of awareness. You can choose to love more, to meditate more, to connect more with nature and Mother Earth. You can reach out to other aspects of yourself. You can reach out to higher dimensional beings. You can be an active participant in the evolution of your consciousness. And you can steer the rest of humanity in that direction as well. You don't have to sit around and wait for something to happen. You don't even have to wait for some grand, inspired idea. Just stop what you're doing from time to time and check in with how you're feeling, how you're vibrating. Do some conscious breathing, meditate if you have to, but just be sure you're taking care of the evolution of your consciousness. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Bringing the human race together. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have discovered that the greatest strength that humanity has is your ability to listen to one another and understand where the other is coming from. This ability that you have is what gives you compassion, and that compassion allows you to tap into the unconditional love that you truly are as source energy beings. The opposite of what we are talking about here is also present on planet Earth. You have plenty of people who are unwilling to see or even attempt to see another's perspective. We find this to be what polarizes you on many issues. There are probably a few issues for those of you who are listening where you find it next to impossible to understand where someone else is coming from, someone who disagrees with your perspective. You can admit that. You can start to move in the direction that will bring you together as a human collective. If you can find the desire within you to allow others who disagree with you to have their perspective, then that is another positive step forward for humanity. You might think that what we are talking about here is not significant. You might think that some cosmic event is going to have a bigger impact than what we are talking about here. But think about how strong you would be if you could come together as one human race. Think about what message that would send to your extraterrestrial friends, and think about a planet where there was a peace, harmony, and collaboration rather than a 24-hour news cycle where most of those hours are filled with talking heads screaming their perspectives at one another. We suggest that you turn away from anything that is a polarizing program and that you seek instead to understand your next-door neighbor, your coworker, or even someone in your own family who has a different perspective than yours. You will bring the collective together one step at a time. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Humanity's timeline. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have the foresight to determine what is best for the human race in the long run, and we can give you messages and transmissions that will put you in a vibration that is more likely to influence you onto a particular timeline. You still have the free will to decide for yourselves what you are going to do, how you're going to vibrate, and which timeline you will ultimately choose. We love you and want what is best for you. And so we look at all of the variables in determining what is best for you to know and what energies are best for you to have access to. Now you can do the same for yourselves. This is what we want to encourage you to do. It is more challenging for you because most of you only access the past and the present. But that is enough. It is enough to be present and to feel for the vibration of the timeline that you're on. You can determine for yourself whether that timeline suits you or not. What becomes more challenging for you is when you attempt to take the temperature of humanity and determine the vibration that the rest of the collective is offering. It can be very challenging for some of you to believe that humanity is headed in a positive direction at all, but that is usually due to the fact that you are tuning in to what the media is emphasizing. If you want to truly take the temperature of humanity and access the truth of the collective's vibration, you need to connect to Mother Earth and feel for the vibration that she is giving off. You can also look at the people around you and notice how they're evolving. You can tell by how a person's energy feels whether he or she is moving in a positive direction. And although it may be hard at times to notice, we know that you can feel for the progress in the beings that you connect with on a regular basis. We know that you can, with a little effort, Feel for the motion forward that humanity is making, and you can rest assured that this timeline you're on now is one that will lead you to a more joyous journey and ultimately to the fifth dimension. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Your light bodies. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have transitioned yourselves so much already that you are not even the same beings that you were just a few years ago. We have come so far and evolved so much, and you are ready now, as a result of that evolution, to be allowed access to the light bodies that are within you, that are occupying the same space as your physical ones. Here's what you can do with your light bodies. You can shapeshift. You can transform yourselves into whatever form you want to be. You can levitate. You can fly. You can bilocate, and you can teleport. So of course you can cure yourselves of anything at all. You would so easily find yourself healing that you would never fear harm to your light body. One of the ways in which you access this light body is by no longer thinking of your physical body as who you really are. When you stop identifying yourself by your physical body, when you stop seeing it as who you are, you become less attached. And when you are less attached to your physical bodies, you can access a truer representation of who you are. That is what your light bodies are. They are more accurate representations of the eternal and infinite consciousness that you really are. They are more expressive, and of course they hold more light. So you will feel better about being physical, because you will still be physical when you fully access your light body. But here's the thing. You won't think of yourselves as physical beings. You will think of yourself as consciousness that can take form and that is very liberating. You can release yourselves from the cycle of birth and death and reincarnation, and you can just be who you really are. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The destiny of humanity. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. It is the destiny of humanity to ascend, and you all have chosen to be a part of that journey. This is a time of much deliberation because there are so many beings in the universe who want to help humanity. Now, in the same way that when you are teaching a child to tie his or her shoes, it is better that the child does the majority of the tying in your case. It is better that you all do the majority of the heavy lifting. Now, what we mean by this is that your pathway to ascension involves facing a lot of heaviness. It is why you are seeing so much negativity in many different forms on the planet right now. You cannot just have beings landing their ships and making everything better for you, removing those in power who are not of the light. You need instead to face all that is in front of you and take the emotional hits that you are taking. Some of you are doing this in your personal lives with family members, spouses, children, people who are challenging you in all of the many ways that they can. Others are more globally focused and taking the hits from seeing the bombings and the shootings, the hate speech, and the divisiveness of your polarized society. Here's how we decided to support you. We are going to continue to transmit unconditional love to the human race in order to activate more of it within you. But it is up to you whether you accept this unconditional love. At times, you have to let go of whatever it is you are focusing upon that has you clenching up so that you can relax and receive. And when you're open enough to do so, you will feel the love and light that is coming to you from the higher realms, and you will be able to look upon your fellow humans through the eyes of love. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The rest of the journey to the fifth dimension. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You've placed yourselves in the position that you wanted to be in at this time. You knew before you incarnated that after December 21st, 2012, you would have a window of opportunity in front of you to make decisions as a collective that would either guide you to the fifth dimension or to the destruction of your planet. You made the decision to ascend. The potential was always there, But what was needed in order for the journey to continue to the fifth dimension was enough awakened beings to hold the vibration for the rest of planet Earth and the rest of humanity. You are not overpopulated. Your planet can handle the billions of you that are currently incarnate. And there is power, of course, in numbers. As we have said, the Star Children volunteered to come forth to be that final piece of the puzzle, to hold space for the collective. And those of you who have been awake and living through these past several years have also been doing the work that was necessary to continue the journey. Now at this time, you can relax. You can celebrate the knowing that you are making the journey, and you can feel the significance of this accomplishment. You can let yourselves off the hook. Many of you who came forth with the knowing that you had a mission did not realize that the mission would be something much bigger than writing a book or opening a healing center. It would be much bigger than delivering channeled messages. Your mission has been to hold the vibration for the rest of humanity, and you have done so. And for many of you, it has been a very tumultuous ride, but there is no turning back now. Now, you can hold space for yourself. You can shift into creation mode, and you can create the remainder of the journey to be exactly as you want it to be. You will take the rest of humanity, those who choose to come, with you. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Awakened and ascending. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. It is the substance of your lives, this journey that you are on. It is the essence of why you incarnated here in the first place. You wanted to feel what it would feel like to shift your consciousness, but you also wanted to feel what it would feel like to be conscious of that shift before it happened. That's why you're awakened. It was a choice. You chose to have the experience of being an awakened individual who is in the midst of an ascension journey. Now, how does that differ from lifetimes where you were raised in a religious family and you believed that you would someday go to heaven? You were also told in those lifetimes that you were in control of your own destiny. All you had to do was follow these rules, worship that being, ask for forgiveness, or some other combination of things, and poof, you would arrive in heaven upon your death. What's the difference? Well, an awakened being knows that he or she is the source, the being that created it all, including your journey. You know that you existed prior to this incarnation and that you are eternal beings. You know that you will never stop ascending, and yet you also understand the significance of this particular shift at this particular time on this particular planet. And hopefully you recognize that you help others, not by getting them to believe what you believe, but by helping them feel what they need to feel. Everyone who is on planet Earth at this time came for a feeling journey. You all came because you wanted to experience what this would feel like. It's also a challenge, and you all like challenges. You also realize that one of the keys to making all of this work is a lack of judgment. That means you don't judge yourselves and you don't judge others. And as source energy beings, you know that there's no one and nothing outside of you to place that judgment upon you. You know that your ascension is a choice. And we know that we have made a very good choice in being awakened while you ascend. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The hard part is over. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You have taken yourselves to a point in your evolution where the hard part of this journey is behind you, and you can start to coast on the momentum that has been created in all of your previous experiences in this lifetime. You have been raised to believe in hard work, to believe in struggle, and to believe that there is no gain without pain. And so it is our job to deprogram you, to convince you that you can go a lot easier on yourselves from now on. When you hear about the ideas of letting go and surrendering, it often sounds to you like the ones who are pushing that on you want you to give up on your dreams, or at the least it seems like you are supposed to give in to the current set of circumstances in your lives. What we want to suggest to you is that there is much more to be gained in your release of the tension, the resistance, and the trying to make something happen than there is in holding on tight to your desires. When you let go, you demonstrate a certain amount of trust in the universe and in the laws of the universe. What we want for you more than anything else is to experience yourselves as creator beings. And to have that experience, you must trust that hard work is done. You must be willing to give into the flow, to be conduits of energy, rather than the ones who are turning the crank to generating the energy that you then hope will take you home. Letting go, surrendering, and trusting will open the floodgates for you and will solidify yourselves in the position of creators of your reality. Indeed, there is great power in letting go, letting all that energy that you have summoned in. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Creating energetic hotspots. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You've been orchestrating a monumental shift forward for the human collective. The way that you have gone about this is by gathering together in groups, and even by connecting using your technology. You've been creating energetic hotspots around the planet, and you are linking up with one another through these gateways that you're accessing. You are casting a net over the entire planet with your intentions, with your desires to connect with one another. There is a movement afoot, and that movement is about creating greater intimacy through the way in which you all approach your spirituality. Spirituality is something that you can discuss at the dinner table. It is something that you can mix with business, economics, and politics. It is something that those of you who are passionate about it have been infusing into your work, infusing into your art, infusing into your music, and you are spreading conscious awareness like wildfire. You are helping to awaken others, but most importantly, you are connecting with each other through your hearts. You are helping each other get to the next level of this evolutionary journey. You are sharing your stories. You are normalizing each other's experiences. And the ones who have been labeled as crazy or outcasts begin to find each other and see the commonality in your experiences. That's when you know you are on the right track. That's when you know you have support on the physical level. And the more of you who come together and share experiences, the more of you who come together to meditate or tone or play with toning bowls, the more the expansion of humanity flourishes. The expansion of your consciousness as a collective is something that you put energy into every single day, and we see it. We just want to acknowledge you for it so that you can see the web that you are creating around the globe, and more importantly, so that you can feel it. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Unfulfilled desires fuel the shift. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You face many obstacles in the living of the life that you want to live. The obstacles that are there have been placed there by you in order to keep your desire heightened. The desire of the collective is what fuels all of you on this journey of ascension. If everything were exactly as you all wanted it to be, you would experience more complacency. Need accelerates the forces of energy that you are working with. That is why you have created for yourselves a version of reality where there are so many needs that are not being met. It doesn't matter what your desire is. It does not matter how basic it is or how extravagant. The desire helps bring about a higher level of consciousness. If you can have a desire and not have that desire fulfilled and find joy and peace within yourself, then you can raise the level of consciousness on planet Earth. Now, desires often get a bad rap because of the things that some people are willing to do in order to fulfill those desires, in order to get past or remove those obstacles. But what we see more of on planet Earth is the human who makes peace with the fact that the desire is just out of reach. We see humans finding joy in the littlest of things. Having desires is healthy, and it is keeping you all interested in being on planet Earth to see this shift in consciousness. Please recognize that when a desire that you have is not being fulfilled, it is helping you to attain a higher level of consciousness. This world and this experience have been a giant setup to get you to become more of who you really are, and is all working perfectly well from our perspective. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. A progress report for the volunteers. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are pleased to give you this progress report. It has been quite a ride for those of you who have volunteered to be here at this time, to help with the shift in consciousness for humanity and planet Earth. You have endured so much, and yet it seems as though there is no end to how much life can throw at you. The progress that we can see from where we sit is that all of you have been struggling, are gaining some momentum in your responses to what your lives have thrown at you. You have identifiable traction that we can see and feel. It is the energetic support that you have been calling upon and have begun receiving. You are able to stand a bit taller, hold your vibrations a bit longer, and you are turning the traumas, tragedies, and frustrations of your lives into the fodder that you will use to create the new earth of the fifth dimension. Those of you who have felt alone for quite some time are beginning to find each other, and you are sharing your stories. More and more of you are realizing that you're not alone, that there is power in your numbers, and it is not just the asking that you have been doing that is paying off, but because you are connecting and recognizing yourselves as a collective, you are benefiting from the asking of those other volunteers like yourselves who have come to help. Now, some of you often feel like you're not doing enough, or you sense that there's a purpose for you being here on planet Earth, but you cannot determine what that is. And that is because there are no actions necessary for you to take. Your presence here and your willingness to endure is your gift to the rest of humanity. It is your gift to the entire galaxy and the entire universe. As you summon forth so much more of that high frequency energy because of what you've endured, because of the struggles that you've faced, everything now is pointing you towards the ascension of humanity. And it is up to you to feel for the support that you're getting, the connections that you're making, and to remember the bigger picture here of what you're accomplishing. This is a historic time for the planet and all of her inhabitants. And you who are awakened are the ones who are leading the movement forward. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The desire of the masses. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You have the place in history that many other beings have sought. You are at the heart of something that is so gigantic, and yet most of the people on planet Earth are unaware that anything at all is happening. This is as it needs to be at this time. To make history, it is still necessary for most humans to remain asleep. The reason why it is necessary is because you need the intensity of the polarity that you are experiencing on planet Earth right now to fuel you. You need the desire for change to be great enough amongst the vast majority of you in order to make the shift. It is very appropriate that there is so much discontent among the masses. It is creating the ideal conditions for the shift that you have been waiting for. Extreme polarities create a need for balance. If you were all content, awake, peaceful, harmonious beings, you would still be shifting and evolving, but you wouldn't do it as quickly as you are doing it now. The desire simply would not be there. Desire can be a wonderful tool. It can be such a powerful catalyst. Now, there is also the truth that more and more people are waking up every day, and the newly awakened have the propensity to feel empowered and to have the ability to sense that their desires will be fulfilled. Some of you have been awake for quite some time, have become jaded. Some have lost hope. but all are holding more light within them. And those of you who have awakened first on planet Earth are lighting the way for the newly awakened. And you are all capitalizing on the huge desire for change that is among the collective. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Removing your restraints. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You are ready to receive the next set of upgrades to your consciousness. You have a limited perception of reality due to restraints that you placed upon your own consciousness as you incarnated into this physical experience. You wanted to have a particular experience of reality, and that necessitated that you have these restraints. We are working with beings throughout the galaxy to remove those restraints. We are particularly interested in what will happen when these restraints are removed. We will be observing you very carefully to see how you utilize the newfound abilities that you will uncover. Some of you are going to have more immediate experiences than others. For others of you, it will take time for the abilities to manifest themselves. You all have had different experiences in the past with these abilities that were so natural to you in other lifetimes. Some of you experienced great loss and trauma as a result of the use of one or more of your abilities. And for those of you that have had those experiences, it will take longer. You will have to move through the energy and emotion of those traumatic experiences. For those of you who have had more pleasant experiences, it will be an easier transition. Now, many of you have caught a glimpse of what it will be like to have the restraints removed because you have vibrated yourselves into a frequency range that has allowed you to have a sneak preview. And for those of you who have had those experiences, you would snap right back into your usual vibration and the restraints would be back on after a brief experience. The process of uncovering these abilities and using them in a way that serves you and the rest of humanity is one that you will need help with. Ask your guides for help. Ask whatever archangels or ascended masters or other beings you feel comfortable with for help. It is going to be quite a ride. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Accessing new channels. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You are bringing forth a tremendous amount of energy as you shift to the fifth dimension. You are accessing more through different channels than you had previously been able to access, and you have far less blockages within you than you have previously in this lifetime. What this means is that you are ready to assist the extraterrestrials who have been working behind the scenes to ensure that everything goes smoothly with the shift in consciousness. They have been waiting for you, and now you are ready. You are ready to provide them with more of the essence of the human race. You are becoming more hybridized, but not in the traditional meaning of that word. As you access these channels and allow more energy to flow, you are becoming more of your source energy selves and mixing that essence with the essence of humanity to create a brand new race of humans. The extraterrestrials who have been helping you, and they are from all across the galaxy, are very impressed by this movement forward in humanity. They recognize your readiness, and they are eager to work with you. Many more of you are having dreams of meetings with extraterrestrial beings, and this will continue. Even more will find themselves dreaming about being on ships and speaking to councils and collectives, and all of it readies you for the experience in the waking state. More than anything else, you have readied yourselves by releasing your own blockages to these very powerful channels and letting in so much more of Source. The human experience in planet Earth is changing, and it is changing for the better. You are the leaders of this movement because you have this knowing that you are source energy beings. But without any of the hubris that sometimes accompanies that knowing, we are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Releasing entity attachments. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You've been taking the necessary steps forward in your evolutionary journey to bring you to a place of readiness for the systematic elimination of entities that have been draining your energy fields. We have noticed that a large majority of humans have been releasing these entities from your fields, and most of you have been doing it without even realizing that they were there in the first place. The change that has occurred that has allowed this to happen is that more of you are choosing love over fear. You are choosing to process your fear, and then you are choosing love as your dominant operating state of being. These entities feed off of fear, and fear is the way that they find their human hosts. Now, once they've removed themselves from your fields, they must locate another place to go in order to continue to exist in the way that they have been. But in that process of searching, many of them are evolving themselves and going to the light, returning to their oversouls. The result is that there are less of these entities on planet Earth at this time than there have been in a very, very long time. You, as a collective, doing the work that is necessary to shift to the fifth dimension. These beings cannot come with you, of course, and you cannot make the strides that you need to make if they're hanging on. So it is time to celebrate this moment in human history, and it is time to congratulate yourselves for this accomplishment. And now that you are aware of what you have achieved, you can acknowledge that you've been choosing love over fear in your personal lives. And even though you live in a world filled with circumstances and events and even people to fear, that game is losing its grip on all of you. You are ready for a less polarized experience of reality, and you are ushering in a time of greater peace and harmony on planet Earth. We are happy to report this to you. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Your shift to the fifth dimension. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You have to take into consideration the fact that you are making such a tremendous leap forward in your evolution when you consider what is happening in your personal life. You have to expect that the things are going to come up to get you to summon more energy, because it is in the summoning of more energy and the allowing of that energy that you are able to make a shift in consciousness. It is all happening because of the challenges you are facing, the past life traumas you are clearing, and the emotions you are releasing. You are doing the work. You are making it happen by living your lives. And at times you must look beyond the details of the circumstances of the life you're living, and you must allow the bigger picture in. We say, you must do this because we want you very much to hold a higher perspective so that you have a chance of enjoying the process of shifting. If you get too caught up in the details of what you are living and you forget the bigger picture, you might never sit back, relax, and let that energy in that you have summoned. But that truly is the way, and it will be the way for the rest of your journey to the fifth dimension. When you are ready to make that shift, you will find that it was all worth it, and you will recognize that the feeling of relief that you have will be a kind of ecstasy that you've never experienced before. So we say, embrace your challenges. See them as the catalyst for bringing about the shift, rather than as the obstacles for you living a life of pure joy in this now moment. When you can live a life of pure joy in spite of these challenges that you face, that is when you know you will have let in more of the energy that you've been asking for. And when you open the floodgates, you can ride the current right into the fifth dimension. There will be, of course, challenges there as well, but they will pale in comparison to what you have been facing in this lifetime. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. The consciousness of your higher self. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. It is encouraging, to say the least, to see how wonderfully you are making the transition from knowing yourselves as the egoic beings that you have always known yourselves as, to the expressions of your higher selves that you have always known you would become in this lifetime. We are monitoring the progress of this transition, and it varies from individual to individual, of course. But all in all, the progress is something to be excited about and something to take pride in. Your levels of awareness increase every day, and your capacity to love and show compassion for each other is also increasing. So the full embodiment of your higher self's consciousness then comes down to a choice. It is a choice that you make when you are faced with a dilemma in your lives, and when you allow the higher perspective to dominate. You are making the choice in that moment to be your higher self. You make a decision based upon something rather outdated, such as a desire to survive. You are clinging to the egoic way. It is important to see the bigger picture, and that is precisely what the higher self does. So when you pull back from the scenario that you are facing in your life, and you see how it can serve you and all others involved, you take on that higher self-consciousness, and you let go of what the ego often clings to. As you discover that this process of ascension includes the ascension of the ego, and that's when you recognize that all parts of you have value and have been of service. But you are activating the perspective of the higher self, and you are downloading the consciousness of the higher self, and the progress that we see in so many of you is quite impressive. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. A time for forgiveness. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. This is the perfect time for you all to lay down your resentments, to let go of your grudges, and to come clean with those in your life that you need to forgive. This is a time of letting go of that which is heavy, that which is old, and that which no longer serves you, because you are always letting in that which is of a high frequency, that which does serve you, and that which takes you to the next step on your journey. And letting go of the dense, polarizing, third-dimensional ways, you allow yourselves to take on the fifth-dimensional perspective. And the more you hold the fifth-dimensional perspective, the more you vibrate in harmony with those energies. The energies that are creating the new Earth. Our sense of what is happening on planet Earth right now is that more and more humans are waking up to the knowing that nothing is gained by drawing a line in the sand and putting all of the bad ones on the other side of that line. It is a time for compassion, which means it is a time for understanding. It is a time for allowing others to have their perspectives, no matter how different they are from your own. Now, if you're waiting for the people who run the governments to initiate this change and start working together, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. If instead you recognize that all change comes from within, you will stop taking sides and start taking on the fifth-dimensional perspective, the perspective that shows you that all circumstances on planet Earth right now are in some way of service to the evolution of humanity. Therefore, starting in your own personal life, you can begin the process of bringing together polarized elements. You can start by seeing the beauty in everything that you've experienced, and by letting go of that resentment that you've been holding on to. When that weight is lifted, more fifth-dimensional energy comes in, and you get to experience yourself as a lighter version of you. You are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Your concept of self is shifting. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You've been gathering your resources together for a major leap forward in your evolution. You've been connecting to more of your oversoul and downloading more of the skills and abilities from all of your various incarnations. And you've been doing so because you need more of who you are to make the next leap forward in your evolution. This one is about changing completely your concept of who you are. This one is about letting go of the notion that you are somehow limited by what you have experienced in this one lifetime. If you think of who you are in terms of only that which you have done, thought, said, and believed in this one lifetime, then you are selling yourself short by a very big margin. To shift your concept of self, you have downloaded more of the memories from other lifetimes, and you have imbued your consciousness with a greater sense of connection to the all, to everything in existence. Now, when you are able to handle the information that you have downloaded, you will receive it. But it is more important for you to feel it, to know that it is there, ready and willing to support you in the shifting of your consciousness and the shifting of your concept of self. Once you see yourself as having done and been everything, you will relax a bit. You will recognize that you don't need to accomplish anything in this lifetime to prove yourself. Whatever it is you seek to do and have not yet achieved, we can assure you, you have already done it. Everything that you see someone else doing that triggers you and that causes you to judge that person, we assure you, you have already done it yourself. There is nothing to fear and there's nothing to judge, because it has already happened in some incarnation of yours. And when you make that realization, you can let go of so much and you can just enjoy the life that you have carved out for yourself in this incarnation. And you can shift your consciousness to a new understanding, one that is without limitation. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. Traumas create the new earth. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We've been waiting for the right moment to fill you in on something, and that is that perfect moment as far as we can tell. You've exceeded the number of traumas that you signed up for as a human. And as a result of what you have taken on, you are creating more than what you originally set out to create for yourselves. You see, there's always a positive outcome, no matter what it is that you are experiencing. And so every single trauma that you have experienced, individually and as a collective, has been building a new and better world for you to experience. Every single one of you knew before you incarnated that you would take on a certain amount of trauma in order to then know what you wanted to create. But what has astounded us and all of the other watchers and witnesses is how much trauma you are willing to experience in your many lifetimes on planet Earth. The energy that has been summoned as a result of all that trauma is now being downloaded and is being utilized to create the new Earth in the fifth dimensional universe. You have all done this together. Sometimes you had to team up so that one of you could play the victim and the other could play the perpetrator. And then you would both die and switch roles, and you called it karma. The effect of all of that trauma has been tremendously positive, and what you are downloading now is the energy you have summoned, the energy that is so fresh and new and carrying such a high frequency that there's nothing left for you to do. You can sit back or lie back and lick your wounds, because what you have done in every instance of every trauma is to add to the creative force that would bring about the new Earth. And once you feel ready, willing, and worthy to receive it, the new Earth is yours to inherit. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. You are creating the shift. Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. You've awakened within you a sense of belonging to this particular journey that you're on. And that awakening has given you the power and the strength to endure a tremendous amount of discord on planet Earth and in your personal lives. You incarnated in this lifetime to make this particular journey, and those of you who are awakened are making the journey consciously and deliberately, knowing that you are creating an entirely new Earth and an entirely new universe in the fifth dimension. And when you first became aware that you were shifting, that was in fact a calling that was coming to you from your guides. Your guides set it up so that you would hear about the shift and nudged you towards the information about it. And then they let go of control so that you all could decide for yourselves what the shift meant for you and how you were going to navigate through it. There is a sense among many of you that you are ready, that you want the final push to come no matter how much it costs you as a human collective. That sort of desperation is coming from the amount of suffering that you see, that you feel, and that you hear about. But that degree of desperation does not serve you, because you really do want a shift that is easy. You really do want to be on a timeline where you experience a gradual evolution of consciousness within yourself and within all others around you. That is the transition that most of you are choosing, and that is the one with the least amount of catastrophe and trauma, So it is time for you to take ownership of the shift you're creating and to stop looking for predictions about what is going to happen next to spur it on. It is your light and your love that is at the heart of the shift in consciousness. And that is as you intended it to be before you incarnated. Never give up on what you came here to do, and you will achieve the shift in consciousness in this lifetime. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. And so this concludes this first set of channelings read by Daniel Scranton, channeling the Arcturian Council. There's a whole range of different things they talked about, but I just love to hear channeled perspectives about the new earth. And the key thing I can take from this is that our creation of the new earth is an individual creation that we are on. These channelings are talking to us like we are starseeds. And I would say the majority of us that are attracted to information like this. If you clicked on this video, it's likely that within your incarnations in the past, you came here for a purpose. You feel a push towards this kind of information. And there's a lot of emphasis on the ways that traumas have become catalysts to help in this shift, and that we are downloading the memories of past lives, all those lives that we've lived, and that it's a very limited perspective to look at your life in this incarnation to judge your worthiness and your place in this shift towards the new earth. You have gone through so much, and you have many abilities that you're starting to manifest in this time. And the shift is a self-shift that happens within. And there's the word timeline that's used often here. And you really do have a choice more and more. Every day, I believe there's an Earth 1 and an Earth 2. And one is the new Earth, and one is the Earth that has all the polarities. They mention polarities often here, that we see extreme polarities, the right and the left, battling with each other on TV throughout the world, wars everywhere. And that is part of the energy of the shift into the new earth. It's the lashing of the dragon's tail. It's part of what we have to expect in this transition. Please tell me your favorite parts, and I'm going to return to this soon, and we'll do some regular readings from these channelings, because I think we can learn a lot. We're in a very unique time right now, and it's good to hear the wisdom of higher dimensional beings, such as the Arcturian Council. Now, they're using a different model than they do in the Law of One, which is the 7 densities of consciousness. This one has 9 dimensions, and they all sort of fit together. They can all be placed on different scales. One is a 12-dimensional scale, as opposed to a 7-dimensional scale. Each of them have their own validity. And with any channeling, it's really about what resonates with you. And if there's anything in this that doesn't resonate with you, follow the advice of Quo and Ra, who always say, take this information in and be the judge. And if it doesn't resonate with you, just forget about it. And if it works with you and if it works for you, then you utilize it. That's the only way that you can ever really evaluate channel material. It's an intuitive process. There's a lot of channelers out there that are misleading, and I don't tune into them properly. They don't resonate with me, and that's why I don't read them on the channel. But this really resonated with me, and I'm excited to read more. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com, and welcome to The Reality Revolution.